not knowing so that I can proceed. Not knowing is not a crime, but not rectifying the mistake is yes. Hc upon E equals to 12.43 into 10 raised to minus 7. Write it 4 or 5 times because almost in every sum, if calculation comes, this will be involved. 12.43 into 10 raised to minus 7. Done? Next.
Yes.
Last class we have completed till which sum? Last we completed till which? 44 or 45?
44.
44. Okay. 45 onwards. The maximum kinetic energy of photoelectrons emitted from a surface when photon of energy 6 electron volt falls on it is 4 electron volt. The maximum kinetic energy when photon of energy 6 electron volt falls on it is 4 electron volt. So when energy of 6 electron volt falls, then maximum kinetic energy of electron is 4 electron volt. Find its stopping potential. Find its stopping potential. एक शॉर्टकट बोलो तो काइनेटिक एनर्जी इन इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट इज कॉल्ड स्टॉपिंग पोटेंशियल. But if you don't remember, then kinetic energy is E into stopping potential. So this is 4 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 in Joule, E into stopping potential. Therefore, stopping potential is 4 volt. But please remember this as a note. Kinetic energy in electron volt is taken as stopping potential in volt. Is stopping potential in volt. Yes, copy the sum and write note also neatly. Kinetic energy in electron volt is stopping potential in volts. Next. When light of wavelength 300 nanometer falls on a photoelectric emitter, photoelectrons are liberated. For another emitter, 600 nanometer is sufficient. What is ratio of work function? So 600 nanometer photoelectrons are just emitted. It is threshold of first. In second one, 600 nanometer, then they are just emitted. So work function is Hc by lambda. So work function of first upon work function of second is inversely proportional to the wavelength. So it is 600 upon 300 equals to 2 by 1, that is 2:1, option C. Next, 47. Number of ejected photoelectrons increases with increase in intensity. Number of photoelectrons ejected increases with increase in intensity. (48) In photoemissive cell, when exciting wavelength is lambda, fastest electron is nu. The exciting wavelength is changed to 3 lambda by 4. So first lambda 1 is lambda, then it is changed to 3 lambda by 4. The fastest velocity electron has V. V maximum is V in first case. Then speed of fastest electron in second case will be how much? Options are less than, greater than, V, and relation of that V. What is formula for Ke max? Because to get velocity we require kinetic energy. Formula for Ke max equals to h nu minus work function. That means half m, or first I am finding in energy, then we'll find in velocity. This is hc upon lambda 1 minus work function, and second kinetic energy will be hc upon lambda 2 minus work function. Since in answer we want relation between two kinetic energies, so I'm trying to eliminate kinetic energy. First is hc upon lambda minus work function, and second is hc upon 3 lambda by 4 minus work function. That will become 4 by 3 times hc upon lambda minus work function. This is second kinetic energy. So wherever you see hc by lambda, we can substitute kinetic energy K1 plus work function minus work function of second. Now, I didn't took ratio in this case, because if you take ratio, then work function cannot be eliminated, you can't get any relation. Second, I didn't subtracted, because if I subtract, then we'll get answer in plus minus. You don't get multiplier when you subtract. So that's why sum is important. Neither I have taken ratio nor multiplier, but have eliminated work function hc upon lambda from the first equation. Particular sum it is. So second kinetic energy is 4 by 3 first kinetic energy plus 4 by 3 work function minus work function. This is 4 by 3 K1 plus 1/3 of work function. That means second kinetic energy is greater than 4 by 3 of first kinetic energy, since it is plus something. Now, one more line, we get the required answer. This is half m second velocity square is greater than 4 by 3 half m first velocity square. Half m cancel. So V2 is root of 4 by 3 raised to half into V1. Very important sum. If you have not done once, it won't click in the exam. So whenever you want velocity relation, please try to eliminate 1 hc by lambda from equation number either 1 or 2. Yes, completed.
Yes, sir.
Next is given photoelectric cell converts what? It converts light energy into electrical energy, right? B. Actually, D is similar. By mistake, it might have been printed same. Light energy into electrical energy. 50th. In photoelectric effect, the graph showing the cutoff variation is which one? Cutoff voltage will be how? Which one? Which graph represents correct cutoff voltage? Cutoff voltage means stopping potential and frequency graph. Which one say fast? A, B or C? Which graph is
C.
correct? C. Yes, C is correct. Because when you extend that, the stopping potential they have denoted by nu, it will be like this. So it cuts on x-axis at a point. On new page, write new heading. All of you write on new page, please take out new page. Again, one simple chapter we are doing, which you have done also in chemistry. Structure of atom and nuclei. हम बोलने जरा स्लो करेगा हाँ तो थोड़ा स्लो कर आवाज आवाज ना बारिश आ रहा है क्या? नहीं बारिश आ रही है क्या? ऊपर से कोई गिरा रहा है पानी? थोड़ा स्लो कर रहे हैं। यस रिटर्न रेडी। हेलो।
यस सर।
अच्छा, एकदम सिंपल चैप्टर, एकदम आराम से करने वाला हूँ। 3 डेरिवेशन तो आज आराम से हो जाएगा। वन ऑफ द इजीएस्ट चैप्टर। हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो दैट atoms are made up of positively charged nucleus? We all know, I think, atoms are made up of positively charged nucleus in which we have proton and neutrons, and surrounding or circulating this positively charged nucleus we have negatively charged electron. Anybody knows who gave this theory that electrons are revolving inside, there is positive proton? Have you heard about Dalton's theory of atom? Okay. This in chemistry you have done. Then have you heard about Bohr's theory or Bohr's assumption?
Yes sir.
Okay. Right heading. State Bohr's postulates for atoms. State Bohr's postulate for atoms. 3 postulates of Bohr's we have to study for atoms. Electron revolves in elliptical orbit or circular orbit around positively charged nucleus.
Circular orbit.
To move in a circle, we require some force called as centripetal force. Who provides this centripetal force? Electrostatic force of attraction between positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electrons circulating around the nucleus. So first postulate states that electrons revolves in a circular orbit. Electrons revolves in a circular orbit around positively charged nucleus of an atom. Yes, right. First postulate: electrons revolves in a circular orbit around positively charged nucleus of an atom. Next line: the necessary centripetal force is provided by electrostatics force of electrostatic force of attraction between positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electrons. सच में बारिश आ रहा है क्या? ऊपर से गिरा है? किधर? मेरे को दिख तो रहा है किधर भी। थोड़ा ये बंद कर दो ना, फिर बहुत आवाज आ रहा है, डिस्टर्ब होता है एक्चुअली कि ये लोग सो जाते हैं, उठते भी नहीं कि देखने के लिए कुछ चल रहा है कि नहीं। मैं ये सब लगा के कैसा काम करूँ। Electron revolves in circular orbits around positively charged nucleus of an atom. The necessary centripetal force is provided by electrostatic force of attraction between positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electrons. Written first postulate?
Yes.
Okay. Now in chemistry, have you studied Rutherford experiment?
No, sir.
No, you had atomic structure in 11th, I think.
हाँ सर 11th में था।
11th में तो कभी भी ऐसा पढ़ा है क्या? ये वो लोग ने क्या बोला, इलेक्ट्रॉन जब भी चलता है तो साथ साथ में एनर्जी रेडिएट करता है ना, ऐसा वो लोग ने बोला ना। तो अगर आपको मालूम है तो बोलो, नहीं तो बोलो क्या नहीं नहीं हमको मालूम नहीं। So those scientists, they told electron when they revolve they keep on radiating energy. So people started thinking if it is radiating energy तो एनर्जी कम होगा तो धीरे धीरे नीचे आएगा, मतलब स्पाइरल बना के न्यूक्लियस के अंदर गिर जाएगा। रुदरफोर्ड ने बोला नहीं, ये बराबर नहीं, इट कांट रेडिएट एनर्जी। फोर्स ने एक स्टेप आगे बोला, उसने बोला व्हेन इट इज रिवॉल्विंग वो ऑर्बिट थोड़ी घूमता है, इलेक्ट्रॉन घूमता है, वो स्टेशनरी रहता है ऑर्बिट। So he said electron can revolve only in those stationary orbit where its angular momentum is this formula for angular momentum, MVR. Angular momentum is I omega. I means mr square, omega is v by r. So can I say angular momentum is MVR?
Yes, sir.
So angular momentum is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. So wherever this is possible, in that orbit only electrons can revolve. This was proved by Bohr's. That is called Bohr's second postulate. So can you tell me what is difference of angular momentum in consecutive orbit? एक बार एग्जाम में आया था इसमें, n मतलब ऑर्बिट का नंबर। So if this is second orbit, this is third orbit, this is fourth orbit, this is fifth orbit, what will be difference of angular momentum in consecutive orbit? Slightly use your brain, आ जाएगा आंसर। Angular momentum in any orbit is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. That means in first orbit it is 1h upon 2 pi, second orbit 2h upon 2 pi, third orbit 3h upon 2 pi. So any consecutive orbit, what will be the difference in angular momentum? Calculator you want? Yes, Aryan, Purandare, calculator? स्वर्णो गूगल कर रहे क्या?
नहीं सर, 1 है क्या?
ये क्या इसमें क्या दिमाग लगने वाला है, 1 है दूसरा 2 है तो कॉन्सिक्यूटिव का डिफरेंस क्या होगा? 1h upon 2 pi, फटाफट बोलो ना, होशियार बच्चे आप लोग। एक कॉन्सिक्यूटिव मतलब क्या, एक का n दूसरे का n+1, दोनों का डिफरेंस क्या होता है? 1h upon 2 pi। नो इतना सोचोगे तो कैसे चलेगा, इंजीनियर डॉक्टर कैसे बनोगे? सो अगेन सेकंड पोस्टुलेट, electron can revolve only in those stationary orbits in which its angular momentum is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi, where integral multiple is orbital number. क्लियर? मीनिंग समझा पहला? उसने बोला है वो अपने को समझना है, थोड़ी प्रूव करने, बिकॉज वो तो पोस्टुलेट है, एजम्पशन है, थियरी है। Say what is second postulate? Postulate 2. The electrons can revolve only in those stationary orbits in which its angular momentum is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi, where h is Planck's constant, that is angular momentum denoted by L is nh upon 2 pi. N can be 1, 2, 3 dot dot dot. N means orbital number. Any doubt in second postulate?
No, sir.
Yeah, please write down. Do you know 1 minute wait, all of you wait. जैसा खाली MCQ type question पूछता हूँ, chapter easy है इसलिए. What is unit of angular momentum? Anybody can say what is unit of angular momentum? Angular momentum is mvr. So m is kg, v is meter per second, r is meter. Now tell, इतना तो पता है. What is unit? What is unit of angular momentum?
kg meter square per second.
kg meter square per second बराबर. h का यूनिट क्या है? h का h मतलब प्लैंक्स कांस्टेंट का. स्वर्णो क्या हो गया? फुस हो गया एकदम. कनव, व्हाट इज h? आंसर बोलो फटाफट, चुपचाप मत बैठो ऐसा. बी एनर्जेटिक. व्हाट इज h का यूनिट?
joules second.
जूल सेकेंड. हाँ ऐसा बोलो ना फटाफट, मजा आता है. जूल सेकेंड. तो जूल सेकेंड एंड केजी मीटर पर मीटर स्क्वायर सेकेंड. एक ईयर पूछा था कि एसआई यूनिट ऑफ प्लैंक्स कांस्टेंट इज जूल सेकेंड, दिया ही नहीं था. बट आई कैन ऑल्सो से इट इज सेम एज एंगुलर मोमेंटम बिकॉज एन तो नंबर है, 2 पाई इज अ नंबर. तो जूल सेकेंड इज सिमिलर टू केजी मीटर स्क्वायर पर सेकेंड. सो एमसीक्यू ऑफ बोर्ड विल नॉट बी अ रॉकेट साइंस वाला कुछ, तो खाली इसमें से वो थियोरेटिकल कुछ तो पूछ सकते हैं. नाउ राइट, चलेगा. राइट डाउन postulate 2. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Postulate 3. एक खाली नोट लिख लो before postulate 3. The difference of angular momentum in consecutive orbits equal to h upon 2 pi. Second, SI unit of Planck's constant can be written as joule second or kg meter square per second. Or kg meter square per second. Done?
Yes.
Okay. DV wala student, they have this chapter in the exam? DV student, they have this chapter?
सिखाया नहीं है सर
हाँ, क्या बोल रहे हैं?
सिखाया नहीं है सर अब तक।
सिखाया नहीं है
नहीं नहीं, सिखाने तो पोर्शन दिया होगा ना। अगर पोर्शन दिया है तो है, सिखाने का क्या? सिखा
नहीं।
देंगे।
नहीं है सर।
नहीं सर नंबर में तो नहीं है
Okay. And Viti, you all have this?
नो सर।
No, sir. We
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है। नहीं, because if you don't have, then I can start, keep one chapter pending and start revision. चलो next लिखो postulate 3. Postulate 3. Now in chemistry, I think this Bohr's postulate you have done. If you are remembering, I don't want answer. Have you done this? Or electrochemistry, nuclear chemistry you have done? Nothing you have done? Hello?
sir, we are doing electrochemistry. Like we have done it in classes and we are doing it in school.
इलेक्ट्रो नहीं, ये वाला अपना न्यूक्लियर केमिस्ट्री जिसमें रेडियो एक्टिविटी सब है। एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर बोलो, चलो वो तो क्या है?
Atomic structure is
लेंथ में
है ना? तो हायर ऑर्बिट पे एनर्जी ज्यादा रहता है क्या कम रहता है? हायर ऑर्बिट पे व्हाट इज एनर्जी इन हायर?
ज्यादा रहता है सर।
ज्यादा रहता है, बराबर, परफेक्ट। तो ये हायर ऑर्बिट से अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन जंप मारा लोअर ऑर्बिट तो उसका एक्स्ट्रा एनर्जी वो रेडिएट करेगा ना,
Yes.
एंड दैट रेडिएशंस आर फोटॉन्स ना। एनर्जी ऑफ ईच फोटॉन इज h nu, मालूम है ये? So when electron jumps from, or when there is transition of electron, when there is transition of electron from higher orbit to lower orbit, then it radiates photon of energy h nu, where h is Planck's constant and nu is frequency of radiation. So suppose En2 is higher orbit, En1 is lower orbit, then it will radiate energy which is equal to difference of energies, and that is equals to h nu. Again I am repeating postulate 3. When there is transition of electron from higher orbit to lower orbit, then it radiates photon of energy h nu, which is equal to difference of energies of the electron into orbit. This is called postulate 3. Okay? Hello?
yes sir.
Right. When electron is in transition from higher orbit to lower orbit, then it radiates photon, of energy h nu. Then it radiates photon of energy h nu. This is equal to the difference of energies in the two orbits. Therefore, En2 minus En1 equal to h nu. In bracket write En2 greater than En1.
Done, sir.
So we got three postulates. First was electron revolves in circular orbit. Necessary centripetal force is provided by electrostatic force of attraction. And second was electron can revolve only in those orbits in which angular momentum is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. Third, whenever there is transition from higher to lower, electron radiates photon of energy h nu, which is difference of energy in the two orbits. Right, derive expression for radius of orbit of electron. Derive expression for radius of orbit of electron, or show that Rn proportional n square, or show that Rn proportional n square. Consider electron of mass m, charge E, revolving in nth orbit of radius Rn with velocity Vn. Therefore, according to Bohr's first postulate, m v square by r is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon. What is electrostatic force? Q1 Q2 upon r square. Hello?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Q1 Q2 upon r square. No?
Yes, sir.
So if Z is atomic number, then Z is the charge of proton and E is the charge of electron upon r square. We are talking about nth orbit, so I can write Rn, Vn. Here Z equals to atomic number. See again, huh? Consider electron of mass m, charge E revolving in the nth orbit of radius Rn with velocity Vn according to Bohr's first postulate. Centripetal force is electrostatic force. Centripetal force is mv square upon r. Nth orbit we have taken Nn. Force is 1 upon 4 pi q1 q2 upon r square. Q1 is nothing but electron E. Q2 is that charge of proton whose atomic number is Z, then Ze. Let this be equation 1. Copy till this. Consider electron of mass m, charge E, revolving in nth orbit of radius Rn with velocity Vn. So according to Bohr's postulate, mv square upon r, 1 upon 4 pi q1 q2 upon r square. Q1 is nothing but charge of the nucleus of atom, which is Z into charge of one proton into electron.
Done, sir.
Okay. See, I am interested in only R, huh? So anyhow that V should get eliminated. Known quantities are mass, charge of electron, and if we know name of the gas, then it can be atomic number. Hydrogen hoga to 1, helium hoga to 2, and so on. So I'm just removing first part. Now according to Bohr's second postulate, angular momentum m Vr for nth orbit Vnrn will be equals to nh upon 2 pi. Therefore Vn will be nh upon 2 pi m Rn, equation 2. So from 1 and 2 we get first equation is m v square, so it will become n square h square upon 4 pi square m square Rn square. Clear this much? V का जगह पे nh upon 2 pi mr, followed,
Yes, sir.
into mv square upon r, so it was 1 upon Rn equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught z square upon Rn square. Both sides is Rn square you can eliminate. What else can cancel? This one m can cancel. 4 pi you can cancel. Now I'm cross multiplying. Therefore R suffix n equals to R suffix n equals to epsilon naught n square h square upon pi z pi m e square, pi m e square z. This is expression for radius of nth orbit. I hope you followed. Everybody has followed derivation. Easy one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, copy.
Done, sir.
Okay. So we got Rn as epsilon naught n square h square upon z pi me square. Is epsilon constant or variable?
Constant.
Constant. 2 pi.
Constant.
Mass and charge of electron?
Constant.
Constant.
Times constant is constant. So we can say therefore next line Rn is proportional to n square. So sometimes they cannot show that Rn proportional to n square for given atom. Right now. Rn proportional n square. Then write note. For hydrogen atom Z equals to 1. Therefore Rn equals to epsilon naught n square h square upon pi me square. Completed? Second
Yes,
note.
sir.
Second note writer. R1 equals to 0.53 Angstrom unit. So indirectly for any other orbit, it will be R1 into n square. In some book, this R1 is denoted as A naught. So first orbit radius for hydrogen atom, remember as 0.53.
Done,
Completed?
sir.
Yes. Next expression. Derive expression for velocity of electron in nth orbit. Velocity of electron in nth orbit, or show that Vn is inversely proportional to n, or show that Vn inversely proportional to n for hydrogen atom. Same statements again. Consider an electron of mass m moving with velocity Vn in a circular orbit of radius Rn. Let Z be the atomic number and E be the magnitude of charge of electron. To avoid that confusion, negative होता है तो मैंने लिख दिया let E be the magnitude of charge of electron. Please copy till this. Completed till this, sir?
Done, sir.
Okay. Just 1 minute. Others have also completed?
Yes, sir. Done.
1 minute, huh? Consider particle electron of mass n moving with velocity vn in a circular orbit of radius rn, z be the atomic number and E be the magnitude of charge of electron. By Bohr's, which postulate if I take, I will get V in power 1. Second. So according to Bohr's second postulate, MVR is NH upon 2 pi. So this is nth orbit, nth orbit. But what we proved for Rn, are you remembering? Epsilon naught n square h square upon z m pi me square. Therefore, m into Vn into epsilon naught n square h square upon z pi me square equals to nh upon 2 pi. nh एक cancel. Pi you can cancel. M you can cancel. Any other possibility? No. So V in nth orbit equals 2. V in nth orbit equals 2. E square Z upon 2 epsilon naught and H. Z E square I took in numerator upon 2 epsilon naught and H. So this is expression for velocity of electron in nth orbit. So if we take Z constant for given atom, that means for given atom, if you are not changing the atomic number, Vn is inversely proportional to n. Follow derivation again? Any doubt?
Follow, sir.
No, sir.
ठीक है लिख लो एकदम अच्छा easy derivation. This chapter has 7 marks weightage in board. 12th standard state board it is 12 mark. Sorry, 7 marks.
Done, sir.
Again write note for hydrogen atom Z equals to 1 and B 1 equals to 2.189 into 10 raised to minus plus 6 meter per second. Why I am giving first orbit? So that if they ask any orbit, you can take ratio. So V1 upon V2, second का पूछा है तो it will be 2 by 1. So V2 will become V1 by 2. Directly you can do, no need to get involved with that expression, which is just now we wrote if you remember. Z square upon 2 epsilon naught NH tension वाला है ना. So if I know first one, I can do all. Right. Can I go?
Done, sir.
Okay. Derive ये important है आने का चांस है. Derive an expression for energy of electron in nth orbit, or show that for hydrogen atom energy in nth orbit is -1 upon n square. Done? Can I clear now? Ready? Yes. See. Again, same history first. Consider an electron of mass m moving with velocity vn in a circular orbit of radius rn. Let z be the atomic number and E be the magnitude of charge of electron. Therefore, total energy of electron comma E equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy. So energy in nth orbit is kinetic energy in nth plus potential energy. Please write down this much. Okay, written till this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, please write each formula at least 10 times. Very dangerous formulas to keep in mind. Now, energy in nth orbit is kinetic, which is half m vn square plus, that means half m velocity square. Potential energy, what is V? Work upon charge. So potential energy is potential into moving charge. So this is electrostatic potential at orbit into minus E. Minus E is charge of electron. So this is half m. What is velocity in nth orbit which we got? Any of you can tell the formula by looking the derivation which I did? What we got velocity in nth orbit?
Z square upon 2 epsilon naught n.
बराबर, because वही याद नहीं रहेगा इसलिए मैं पूछा. You have to write 10 at least 4 4 5 5 times. Z square V formula Z square
Upon 2 pi upon 2 epsilon naught
NH. Okay, and then square of this. Electrostatic potential on charge of electron is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon. See, this is proton Ze. At this point, at a distance r, it will give electric potential, which is nothing but Ze upon distance r. This is called electric potential. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon q by r is called electric potential from the center at the point. But that Z is q is Ze into minus E. So this will become, this you followed now what I did? Half m z e raised to 4. Okay. Half m z e raised to 4 z square e raised to 4 upon 4 epsilon naught nh, 4 epsilon naught n square h square plus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, this is minus हो जाएगा, minus ze square upon radius of nth orbit. Please copy this line again. Half m z square e raised to 4 4 epsilon naught n square h square and 1 upon 4 pi z square rn minus 1. So z square m e raised to 4 upon 8 epsilon naught square n square h square minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught ze square. Completed? I want answer of Rn from you. Is it epsilon naught n square h square upon z pi m e square? Radius of nth orbit.
Yes, sir.
This pi you can eliminate. So it just write this much. Then I'm rubbing and taking in the first line. First line I'm clearing. Oh, sorry. Z square me raised to 4 8 epsilon naught square n square h square minus this z me square goes up, so z square m square e raised to 4 upon 4 epsilon naught square n square h square. What will be LCM, can you suggest? 8
8
epsilon naught n square h square. So this will become z square me raised to 4 minus 2 times z square m square e raised to 4. So final will become minus z square m e raised to 4 upon 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. This is expression for energy of electron in nth orbit. For hydrogen atom, Z equals to 1, therefore En proportional minus 1 upon n square. Otherwise it will be Z square upon n square. Then write note E1 equals to minus 13.6 electron volt for hydrogen atom, or E1 is minus 13.6 into Z square for any other atom. एक और नोट लिख लेना, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. En is minus 13.6 Z square upon n square. Z square upon n square, rest all when you simplify you get minus 13.6 in electron volt. Unit is electron volt. Stitch up. Derivations are not difficult, but so many terms are there, unless until you practice 2-3 times you will feel it is difficult, but actually it is not difficult. So today I won't do anything extra. This much I stop. Next class we'll do energy level diagram and some MCQs. So this much part ka MCQs I'll do in the next lecture. That is on Monday. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that means coming week, which will be 25th on Friday. We'll complete this chapter also. Then comes out semiconductor. Semiconductor is theoretical chapter. So whatever I teach in MCQ, I will complete in one day. That means as per my plan, I think by October 10th, we will complete entire syllabus of yours. And then revision with consulting you only, I will frame the timetable. This you all have completed full?
Yes.
So that's all for today. Next meet on Monday. Sunday